going on, guys and gals? It's your boy, Retrospective here, back at it again with a brand new video. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the time that I went down in a crash, and the reasons why I'm still here, the what caused it, and how it could have been avoided. So, what caused it was a careless driver who was in a rush to get to work, was in the middle of a 3-lane highway, and I was on the right lane going to pass her, and it was raining that day, but I'll get to that when it could have been avoided. So I'm passing her on the right side, and she's slowing down, and I'm noticing this, and I'm slowing down as well, although the light had just turned green, and my lane was completely open. So as I start to pass her, she abruptly pulls over to the right and proceeds to attempt to turn into and try to stop at a turn-in area right next to where she just pulled in. So literally, in the matter of 1 to 2 seconds, she had almost stopped her vehicle to turn into the parking lot. And I was 5 feet away from her when she did this. She cut me off and did this. So I tried to, when she did this, I saw her coming over at first, but I didn't see that she was going to stop right away. So she came over, and as she did that, I moved over to the right side of her to try to stay in her mirror or stay in a clear path of travel because I didn't know what she was doing or where she was going. Now, when she slammed on her brakes, I knew that I had either one choice, to go into the rear end of her, crash the whole front end of my bike, smash it completely, and possibly flip over the car, do some worse damage than what it could have been done, or go to the right side of the car, avoid the car, and try to go around the car. Now keep in mind, it was a wet day out. It had just rained in the morning, so the roads were kind of slick, but the rain had stopped, and it just kept the roads a little slick, which, as you should know as a rider or a driver, that when it first rains, it's the worst because that's when it's the most slick and oily. So I ended up going around her to the right side and had to use the shoulder, but when I was slowing down at the same time and I moved over to the right, at some point my rear wheel either lost traction, or something lost traction, but my rear wheel was not slowing me down. I believe that it just locked up and I could not come to a stop at all. I couldn't stop the bike. So when I did that, I went over to the right side, but where she was turning in, there was like a little median to go in and to go out. There was like a little triangle / island median. And my bike ended up, I tried to turn it back the other way. I couldn't get traction. It ended up hitting the median, going over it. I began to low side, and when I started to low side, I actually went straight towards a curb. And once I hit the curb, it hit my rear end of the bike first. So it basically high-sided me off of the bike after I hit the curb. And after that, I mean, I didn't lose consciousness. I was awake the entire time. My body spun maybe once or twice, and I landed on my back. I wasn't feeling any pain. I didn't lose consciousness, as I said earlier. And I think the main thing that had protected me during that was a 6'4" Boss helmet, or a 6'4" Honda Boss helmet that that I had bought earlier that year. So that's definitely one thing that saved my life. Another thing was my leather jacket that I was wearing at the time definitely protected me from road rash. And the only thing that I got out of it, maybe I landed on a rock or something, but there was a little hole in my elbow, and I mean I could feel that a little bit, but it wasn't like a really but it wasn't really like a really bad pain. It was just like, oh, okay, I hurt my elbow somewhere. I only had a few stitches that I needed in it, but that wasn't really a big deal. The biggest deal to me was when I went to pick up my bike at the tow yard, because once I got out of the hospital, I had to pick up my bike at the tow yard, and I looked at it, and I saw that the rear frame of the bike was just twisted. It looked like the whole thing was mangled. I asked him to drop it off at my house. I tried to get it into the house, into the garage, and it was hard enough to even push it into the garage. Once I got it in, I started taking it apart almost right away. Pretty much took apart any piece that was damaged from the accident. And once I did that, I started looking up every part I could to start working on it. I mean, there wasn't much that I knew to do beforehand because I've never worked on my own bike before. But I knew at least that I needed to get it apart and work on it. It ended up taking me at least 6 months to a year to get it done because, granted, it was my first time ever trying to rebuild my bike after being in my first accident, and it was a little challenging, but I figured it out and got back on it as soon as I could. This is the same bike that I ride to this day. Back to what I was saying earlier about the accident that I had. It could have been avoided by, one, her checking her mirror to move over. Another thing, putting on a blinker to move over. Not slamming on her brakes. Not cutting across 2 lanes to get into her job. And one thing I could have done was limited my speed in the rain. I mean, I was going 5 miles under the speed limit as it was, but actually I think I was going 15 under. It's a 50-mile-an-hour zone. I was going 35 in the rain. Apparently everybody's on their rush to get on their brakes early. He's got a nice bike. He's got music on in that thing too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. I like it. I like it, dude. I like it. So, as always, guys, I appreciate all the feedback and support. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell so you get notified whenever I upload. Until then, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, bros.